So in the left hand side, right, you can see a lot of options, guys. Say like new item, people, build history, manage Jenkins, my views, lockable resources, and new view. Okay, we will discuss each thing, right, step by step. So to administrate the Jenkins, right, so all the configuration, all the relevant configuration, right, it will be available under the manage Jenkins. Okay, so go to the manage Jenkins. Under the manage Jenkins, right, we have seen some different configuration here also. Again, let's say like configure system, global tool configuration, manage plugins, and manage nodes and clouds. These are the system level configuration. Other one is say like manage users. These things are there, right? These and all, right? These are mainly for the authentication and authorization purpose. That means you currently, right, I just have a single user, which is the admin user. In case if you want to create new users, right, you can add it like this. Okay, you can add, you can assign the roles and permissions. So what he can see, he has the read access, he has the creating a new job access, remove administrative access, these kind of things, right? You can do the configuration from the security one. Okay, now let's start step by step, guys. First one, configure system. Let's try to understand what null configuration will be there. Under the configuration system, right, in the first folder, you are seeing like home directory. That means whatever jobs I have created, everything, right, it will comes under here. That means all the Jenkins files, right? Jenkins files are, metadata or any historical data, log file data, everything, right? Most of the data, it will be stored under the var/lib/Jenkins, guys. If you want to see, right, you can directly go to the var lib, permission will be denied, I guess. Okay, it is their permission there. So here you can see something like this. This config.xml, all configuration, right? It will be stored under here. You can see something like plugins configuration, secret configuration, users, logs, nodes. So if you add some jobs, right, you can have multiple jobs also within this folder. Like this, right? All the all the Jenkins relevant configuration, right? It will be stored under the home directory. That means var lib Jenkins. Then let's move further. Number of executors, by default, right, it will execute 2 executors. That means 2 jobs, right, we can trigger at a time. This one, right, we can alter, guys, as per our requirement. So this one, this configuration, right, we will do in the initial setup, right? Whatever host name and configuration port name, right, we can configure here. Then we can see some of the data. Okay. So here, right, mainly one good thing will be in the configuration section, we should do the SMTP configuration, guys. As I mentioned in the earlier sessions also, right? If there is something happen, say like build is failed or build is something happened with the Jenkins job, that time, right, we should send an email to the users. Then, right, we should use this one. Here, right, we need to configure the SMTP authentication. So most of the configuration part, right, it will be comes under manage Jenkins and configuration section, guys. Then let's move to the global tool configuration. As the name itself, right, what it will do is it will allow you to install and configure the software tools from the global tool configuration. Here you can see JDK, that means Java Development Kit. If you want to install Java, right, you can choose this one. Otherwise, right, directly. So one more thing will be for a single project, right, we can have the multiple Java versions also. Say like some projects can be built on the Java 10, some projects can be built on Java 11. If there any latest version, they can use it, guys. Only thing is they should configure here. That's it. Let me show you here. Let's say like Java 10 if you want to configure, and what is the Java home? Then say like user home, something like that. You can have some path here. Like this, right? We can configure, guys. So if you want to add one more Java location, right? You can add it. JDK 11 also, something like this. Java 11. That means whenever you want to compile on this part, right, what you can do is you can add it to the class part. So like this, right, different tools we can configure.
Venkatesh,
Similarly,
what is that Java?
Can you wait for some time, please? Let me complete. Okay. So similarly, right, we have something like Git also here. This is the Git client, guys, not Git bash. In local, we have installed the Git, right? So like next some Git bash you have, right? That is the Git client, which will help you to pull the code. I mean to clone the code, and if you want to do any activity, right, that will help you. Similarly, right? So if you are if your source code management is the Bitbucket or GitHub or these kind of Azure DevOps also, right? So that time, right, you should use the Git client. That means the Git client also, right, should be get installed in the target machine. That means wherever you have hosted the Jenkins, right, the Git client also, right, should get installed. Then here we are seeing one of option install automatically, but this may not work because by default, right, this will be running with the Jenkins user, so which don't have root user permission. That's why, right, we can't install the package. What we are going to do is we will try to do it with the manual step. Then similarly, let's move further. Like Gradle is there, just like Maven, right? This is also one of the build automation tool. Similarly, Ant is there. This is out of market, so there is no market for this tool. Say like if you want to add Ant, right, you can add it here. Just like Java, right, you can add any versions, guys, here. As you can see, right, just Ant 1, 2, 3, something like that. And similarly, we have the Maven also. If you want to use the Maven right here, say like in Maven also, right, we can have some multiple versions. Say like latest version is 3.8. What it will do is it will just directly connect to the Apache Arc, guys. That's it. Say like Apache Maven. There is some repository path will be there. From here, right, it is going to download. These are the different software 3.8. When you say 3.8, right, it will connect to the repository and it will download. See here, as you can see here, right, like 3.8, 3.8 advanced 6, something like this. For any tool, right, so if it is openly exposed, right, then it will try to download, guys. Okay, this is how it will do. Install automatically. If you choose, right, whatever version you have chosen here, right, it is going to download and extract, and during our job execution, right, it will come, it will be added. Okay, then let's move further. Go to the Manage Jenkins again. I have some another option called Manage Plugins now. Go to the Manage Plugins. Here, right, updates, available, installed, and advanced. So as I mentioned earlier also, right, Jenkins itself, right, it won't do. Okay, it won't have any significance. What we are going to do is Jenkins provide UI, and there are some set of basic features it's going to support. On top of it, right, what we need to do is we need to install the plugin as per our requirement. Let's say like if you want to integrate with the Git, then you should install the Git plugin. If you want to integrate with the SVN, then you should integrate with the SVN. Say SonarQube, Tomcat deployment, Maven, all these things, right, for any tool, right. So Jenkins, most of the tools, right, it will get supported, guys. Anything, say like if you want to create any CI/CD pipeline, right, you can search for the pipeline under this one. So you can see here, right, if you want to create a Docker pipeline, you can choose this one. So different options it's going to provide, guys. Similarly, if you want to integrate some DevOps tools, say like Sonar. See here, Sonar scanner. What you do, just scan the code. Okay, quality gate. So everything, right, different features will be there, guys. For each feature, for each to integrate with any DevOps tool or application server, right. So Jenkins, right, we have the plugins. So based upon your requirement, right, so you can search for here. Say like I want to use SonarQube, I want to do some different approach. Any new tool also, right? If the feasibility is there, right, directly what you can do is you can install the plugin here and you can restart the Jenkins service. Then whatever feature you have added, right, it will come to picture. Then if there is some updates, right, it will come here. Say like the plugin got, there is some new version of plugin available. Then this is also, right, there is some separate portal, guys, Jenkins only. All the plugin repository, right, you can be identified there. Then install, if you already installed, that means in the initial section, right, we have installed some of the plugins. That means if you remember it correctly, right, so in the second step, once you enter the Jenkins secret, right, in the second step, it is asking to configure the Jenkins plugin, recommended plugins. Okay, in the recommended plugins, right, what and all plugins you are seeing, right, everything will get installed. So for an example, if you let's search for Git once. 1 minute. Here, this is the Git plugin, guys. If you don't have plugin means, so we can't pull down the code. I will showcase you where this option will come. Okay, just like this, right? We can have, say like a database connection also. A lot of things will be there, guys. Jenkins, why it is famous? Let me tell you. This is biggest open source community. So even if you want to, okay, if you have some new tool, there is no plugin is available. You can develop your own plugin and you can upload to the Jenkins repository. So they will validate, and if it is okay, right? Like say like security wise, if everything looks good, right? Then they are going to approve your request. Here, right? What can be happening is, so anything, guys, based on your, you can write the code. You know, there is some JPA or HPA based plugins, so you can extend the Jenkins feature more than it is providing. Okay, that's what. Then in the go to the advanced section, there are some of the companies, guys, which will be download any file. You know, which will connect to the internet with the proxy settings. In the sense, like, you know, you can't directly connect to the internet. Okay, let's say like there are some product based companies, mainly say like DXE and some, you know, who has like VMware and administrative, say like okay, these kind of companies, right? What it's going to do is it won't allow you to directly connect to the internet. Instead of it, right, they will have some proxy server. From proxy server, right, it will do. That means you can say like, if you want to download something, first it will send the request to the proxy server, it will validate. If everything looks good, right, then it will go to the internet. Then you can download the file. You know, it will track all the history. There are a lot of configuration will be there, guys, due to some security concerns. In these kind of situation, right, Jenkins itself, right, won't be able to download any plugins. So to allow Jenkins to download the plugins, right, so we need to configure the proxy. That is nothing but, so if you can contact with the IT administrative team, then you know what they can do is they can share the server IP address, username and password. Mostly username and password may not be there, but server IP address and port, right, these details, right, you can get it. So these things, right, you should have it, guys. Then let's move to the further steps. We have something like upload plugin, guys. Here, as I mentioned right here, so in the available section, right, whatever in the plugins are available in the Jenkins repository, right, only those things only available under the available section. However, as I mentioned earlier also, right, if you want to enhance your development, say like, you know, you have some idea, okay, which can helpful for your project, then you know, you can also write your own code for, you know, as an extension to the Jenkins. So when you write like this, right, you can directly upload the HPA plugin here. Okay, you can choose it here. Okay, you can develop the code and you can build the code. That's the HPA configuration. Then you can choose it here. When you upload, right, it will get installed. Okay, that's how, right, we can do it, guys. Then there is some another way also to install the Jenkins plugin. Another way will be directly, you know, you can log into the server. There is something like plugin section is there, right? Under the plugin section, right, you can copy your JPA or HPA file. Whatever you are seeing, right, everything it is getting downloaded, guys, earlier. Say like JDK tool, you know, Maven, Git, a lot of plugins are there. JPA, HPA plugins are there, right? Everything are the plugins. From here, right, once it's downloaded, right, it will create a folder like this. Similarly, right, what you can do is you can directly copy your JPA or HPA file to this particular path. Jenkins home/plugins. When you copy it, right, it will download, it will try to install automatically. Okay, that's how it will work out, guys. Then let's move further. Under the main system configuration, that's right, we have some other settings, guys, which is the manage nodes and clouds. Okay, go to the manage nodes and clouds. Here currently, right, I have only one server, guys, which is the master. So in the typical project, right, if you have like 20 jobs maximum, right, then it is fine. If you have like hundreds of jobs, you know, hundreds of microservices you need to support, that time, right, having one machine may not be enough to build and deploy your source code, your project application. In that time, right, you should have the more nodes. That means one can be the master, one will be act as a master, and you can add based upon the load, right, you can add more nodes. So this is nothing but a master slave configuration, guys. In the master slave configuration, right, what we can do is some jobs you can execute on the node 1, some jobs you can execute on the node 2, some jobs you can, you can execute on the node 3, something like that. It's kind of load distribution mechanism. Let's say like 100 jobs you want to execute, guys. If you execute all 100 jobs, in a single machine, right? That will make your machine overloaded. You know, Jenkins may not be working properly. That time, right, what you need to do is you need to distribute the load across the different VMs. That time, right, you should create the master and slave configuration. Here, right, directly you can click on the new node. We can add any node one here, guys. Permanent agent. Okay. Here it will ask some of settings. Just like our Jenkins root path, right? Here also for slave node, right? You should configure the root path. Then you know how you want to communicate. That part also, right? You should do it, guys. Here, right? Launch agent by SSH. These three options will be there. You please explore it, guys. Okay. Generally, right? I will prefer to use like this with the SSH. So what it will do is you can provide your target VM details, say like host IP and you know what the username and password. Then it will connect to the server and it will be added as a node. That's how it's going to work out, guys. Okay, this is how, right, the load balancing can be done. Okay, guys, with this, right, we have covered all the system level configuration, guys. We will do some real-time scenarios now. If you have any questions, right, now ask me. Feel free to ask me.
Yeah, so during Jenkins installation, we installed JDK, right? Open JDK.
Yes.
On the VM. So what is that Open JDK, and here you showed Java. So what is the difference between this and that?
Both are same only. Oracle JDK is like you know, licensed one. Open JDK, right? Java Jenkins is completely, I mean, building on the Java. That means whatever code is written, right, to whatever you are seeing, everything, right, that is coming from the Java code only. So obviously, right, if you want to run the Jenkins in any VM, right, you should have the Java version. That's why, right, before installing Jenkins, right, as a first step, you should install Java, and as a second step, right, you should install the Jenkins. It is why. This is for the Jenkins installation part. Coming to the JDK, which I have showcased you, right? So if your projects are also depending on the Java, that time, right, you can configure the JDK. Say like as I mentioned, right, earlier we have used the JDK 11, Open JDK 11, I guess, if I remember correctly. So based upon your project requirement, right, you can have your own separate JDK version within the same server, okay, without disturbing the Jenkins Java one. Then you know you can add the path there. Then you know during our Maven building, right, then you can add it to the class path. That's right. Both are different completely. This is to run the Java. Sorry. This is to execute run the Jenkins, right? We are using the OpenJDK as per your requirement. Say like if your application need also, you know, Java to build and to compile and create a package, right? Then you should have your own JDK. Otherwise, right, if it's supporting OpenJDK 11, right, you can use it. That means you don't need to configure any JDK tool in the global tool configuration. What it will do is it will choose the current version, which is the OpenJDK 11.
Okay, so if you do not choose any JDK, whatever during the installation, that itself will take it. Okay.
Exactly, correct.
And in the node installation you showed, right? So are you showing in the practical, like adding the new node?
No. This part, right, not today. In the future session, right, I will try to cover. This part, right, mainly in the Azure DevOps I will cover. Yeah. Master slave configuration. Yeah.
Okay.
1 minute. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Okay, guys, great. Let's move further. So these are the tools and configuration we have covered, right? Now let's try to configure our system, guys, to build a small project. So let's say like I have some sample Java project, guys. To build and compile the package Java project, right? I should have the JDK. So if you want, right, you can configure. Otherwise, you can leave it as empty. It will choose the default one. Then Git is mandatory, guys, because I'm going to pull the code. I'm going to clone the code from the GitHub. That's why, right, you should install the Git on the target machine. That means in the Jenkins, right, you should have it. I already logged into the VM. What you can do is you can just directly run the 1 minute. To install packages, as you know, yum space install space is -y. I am going to accept directly. What it will do is it will connect to the internet and it will download the Git. Then you know Once the Git is installed, whatever arguments you are seeing, some exceptions you are seeing, right? Unable to find the Git, something like that. Those options, right? It will be it won't come. Yeah. Now the Git is getting installed, right? By default, right? It will look at something like user/bin. This can be your home path, and Git you can add it directly. Then you should not see the exception which you saw earlier, because I already installed the Git in the Jenkins VM. Similarly, right, to compile the code, right, I need the Maven. That's right. You can choose it here. You can choose it here any version, guys. Say like Maven 33, 35. That means like 3.5 I want to install. What you can do is if you go here, right, 3.5.0, 3.8, any version, right, you can choose it. What it will do is it will connect to the Apache portal here and it will try to download. It will extract in the Jenkins home path, guys. So for other users, right, this this Maven binary, right, may not be available, but whenever you are executing the Jenkins job, right, it will pick from the location. Okay, this part also will show you right now. Let's save this one. Install automatically. I have selected this one. Now, let's say, guys. So if you want to install plugin, how to do it? That is also right. Let's see now. Available section. Let's search for the Maven integration. So let me choose this plugin once. This is how, right, we can install the plugin, Jenkins plugins. Install without restart. As you can see, right, it is trying to resolve all the dependencies for this Maven integration and it is able to install. Let's wait for a couple of minutes. Yeah, with this, right, the setup is completed, guys. Sometimes, not all time, sometimes you may need to restart the Jenkins service because some plugins, right, may require to restart. That time, right, what you can do is you can choose this option. When you check this option, right, it will do the restart. Let me select this one. As you can see here, right, Jenkins is going to restart automatically. Once the Jenkins is restarted, right, you will be logging again. Okay. Now Jenkins is restarted, guys. I went to the Jenkins home dashboard page. Now, right, what and all things I have done, guys? I have installed some basic plugin and also, right, I have tried to integrate with the Git and Maven. Now, let's try to create a simple job, guys. When you click on the new item, right, to create any job, right, you should choose the new job. So by default, right, this Maven project won't come, guys. Okay. So when you install the Maven integration plugin, right, then only it will come. Otherwise, right, by default, freestyle project, pipeline, multi-configuration, all other things are there, only it will come. By default, as I mentioned, Maven integration, Maven project won't come to picture. Just like this, right, if you want to create any different pipelines, right, you can always install the different plugins from the manage plugin section, guys. Now what I will do is I will say like a simple Java project. Okay. Now what you can do is if you want, you can choose the Maven, then click on OK. Okay, when you click on OK, right, it's open the some set of options, guys. Here, source code management, where you will configure all the Git integration part. That means in a typical cycle I have mentioned, right? So all the developer will publish their code to the GitHub. From GitHub, right, we should clone the code first of all. Okay, that means we should download the code to the Jenkins VM, guys. Okay, that's why, right, you have already installed the Git plugin. When you install the Git plugin, right, you will get this option. If you don't have Git plugin, right, you have empty here, none. So if you have some Subversion, right, SVN kind of tools, right, you can install the Subversion plugin and then you will get the options here, sub SVN. Okay, now you can choose this option, guys, if you want to integrate with the Git. Similarly, so you have some lot of options here. Since this is the Maven based project, right, so you can see the build option as the Maven root POM. So all the details, right, regarding the application, right, they are going to store it in the pom.xml file. This one, right, a DevOps team won't get changed it frequently. Majorly, right, from the development team, right, they will share the pom.xml. From our end, right, we should be aware what it will do. Okay, some basic knowledge, right, we should have. Here, I have something like goals and options, guys. In the goals and options, right, say like clean package, different targets will be there in the Maven. That means to compile the Java code, right, we'll have some one option. To package the Java code, right, we have some another option. To integrate with the Sonar, we have some another option. You know, if you want to execute some test cases, we have some another options. Like this, right, different goals will be there, guys, in the Maven. As per our requirement, right, we should add the goals here. Similarly, so let's say like if the build section is there, if the build section succeeded, then what we need to do? So that means you have some multiple options here again, guys. Run only if the build is succeeds. That means if the target, if this step is success, right, then only the other step is going to execute. Otherwise, right, it won't be executed. Similarly, run regardless of build outcome. That means if the build is success or failure or aborted, any options, right, the steps are going to execute. Similarly, run only if the build succeed or is unstable. Succeed means the compilation for everything is succeeded, guys. Unstable in the sense that can be multiple reasons. Say like JUnit test cases are there. If any JUnit test case got failed, right, instead of marking build as failure rate, you can mark it as unstable also. Something like this, right? As per our requirement, right, we can alter these settings, guys. As of now, right, if you want, you can choose this one. So here again, in the post steps, right, I have some steps. If the build is succeeded, right, in the post steps, so what and all things I need to do? Okay, say like if you want to execute some shell script, then you can use the execute shell. If it is Windows machine, right, if the target machine is, then execute the Windows batch commands. Okay, like this, you can have some set of apps, guys. This can be extended, guys. You know, if we add more and more plugins, right, in the Jenkins, this you will get a lot of options will be there. Okay, similarly, if you want to send email thread, email notification, right, you can send it here, email notification. All these part, right, succeeded, then finally, right, post step, that means the build is executed successfully, completed the Jenkins job. After completion of it, what and all things you want to do? So these are, you know, some set of different options, guys. We will cover each step in detail, guys. Now, any questions, guys, you have until now under this brief discussion?
Like what we are going to create, and we are not getting what exactly the overview of Jenkins.
That part, right? Once I started creating jobs, right, you will understand. Don't worry.
Okay.
I mean, as of now, I'm just walking through you the tool. What did it do? What kind of features will be there? Okay, guys. Now I think we don't have any question. We'll try to do the job creation now. Okay. So let's move back to the earlier folder. Here, right? So if you want to, let's say, like, you have some Java project, guys, Java, anything, maybe Node.js or Python, anything. Okay. Here, what developer will do is they will write the code. Okay, and they will publish to the repository. That can be GitHub, let's say, as of now. Okay. Similarly, if you want to do this automation, if you want to compile the code, you need the Maven. Maven to compile the code. That means, say, like compiling and packaging. That means packaging in the sense, guys, this is nothing but creating a jar file or creating a war file, ER file, all these things, right? Maven is going to take care. Similarly, if you want to integrate the Sonar, right, you need to integrate with the Sonar. Similarly, so if you want to run some shell scripting, to deploy to the Tomcat or WebLogic, anything, any application server, right, you should follow some set of steps. Run the deployment scripts and email notification. Okay, let's say, guys, you want to एक मिनट, guys. Okay, so these are all steps, guys. So you just imagine, guys, if you do it manually, how much time it will take. Okay, if a single project, right, you can do it. But when you have like a 20 to 30 projects, right, that will be tough to handle. These much of microservice manually to create a, to do the manual compilation and all this part. So that's why, right, we're using Jenkins, guys. Let's say, as I mentioned, all the steps, if you see here, right, whatever steps I have covered, right, from the Jenkins portal, right, you can do it. Say, like, you just need to configure the Git client here. What it will do is it will download the code here. Let's try to explore this part. I'm not going to share any any Git bash, any GitHub projects, guys. You please feel free to explore this part. Just select GitHub sample projects, something like that. Something like this. You will have a lot of options, guys. As you can see here, a lot of because the GitHub is open source, right? So anyone can upload their code base. Okay. Then if you want add it, you can add the Maven here. The filtering will be more good now. As you can see here, right? Multiple projects I can see here. See here, anything, guys. If you go to any project, let's say I have some project, something like greenhouse. This is archived, I think. See here. These are the steps. If you want to deploy the application, right, you should follow these steps. Say, like, you should clone the code, you should go to inside the path, then you should run the Maven commands, Maven clean and install. Okay, like this, right, it will come, guys. Similarly, right, whatever steps we are going to do it in the manual way, right, all the steps we are going to implement in the Jenkins itself. That's the advantage of the Jenkins. Okay, let's say, guys, as I mentioned here, right, let's follow all the steps right now. Say, let me pass this project there. This is very simple project looks like. Just what you need to pass it is go to the GitHub, your project, and then so click on the code section, guys. In the code section, right, you can see this copy option. You can choose this option here. Then what you can simply add the repository URL. That means when there is some repository URL, what it will do is during initial section, right, it will download the code. When we execute the script, right, you are going to understand this part, guys. No worries. So similarly, let's come to the pom.xml here. Here, what this guy is saying is, once you download the code, you need to go to the folder. It will take care automatically. Then you should run this command, maven clean and install. MVN is the binary, so which will download by the Jenkins, and this clean and install is there, right? These two are the targets, guys. Now let's try to add this one under this section, goals and option. Now let's just save the file. I mean, just save the job and try to execute it and see what will happen. Now you will get all answers. Yes. So this is the first step, guys. So as of now, right, I don't have Maven in my target machine. Okay, that's why, right, what it is going to do is trying to download the Maven script, Maven, from the internet. As you can see here, right, Apache Maven 3.5. I have chosen the 3.5, guys. If you choose any different version, right, if you're not there in the Jenkins workspace, right, it will try to download and it will install in the Jenkins virtual machine. Okay, this is the one-time step, guys. Okay, this is first time job, right? That's why it's coming to picture. Otherwise, right, from the next run, right, this log, right, won't print out here. Currently, what it is doing is it is making sure all the required tools are installed in the target machine. Then, as a second step, what it is going to do is I have integrated with the GitHub, guys. That's why, right, if you see in the log, right, cloning repository and whatever GitHub URL I have given, right, it's going to download the code. If you want to see this code, right, directly go to the inside this folder. Let me showcase you where it will download. Go to inside this folder. See here, whatever code I have, right, everything is downloading to the Jenkins VM. Like the pom.xml readme source file is there, right? Whatever code we have here, right, everything is going to download to the Jenkins VM, guys. Okay, this is the first step of any build and CI/CD pipeline, cloning the code or checkouting the code. Then what it will do is it will try to invoke the Maven, guys. So here, if you see one more option here, executing the Maven, and this is the pom.xml. Okay, this is the path, and then clean and install. If you remember correctly, right, these two goals, right, I have given in the Maven section. That's how, right, first it will delete if there any path data, and then it will try to install it. That means cleaning section. This part, right, I will thoroughly cover during our Maven session. Okay, as of now, right, let's just follow this one. This is our, as you can see here, right, it's trying to downloading, guys. See here, it's trying a lot of plugins from the internet. Say like repo.springsource.org, repo.maven.apache.org. All these things are, right, dependencies in the Maven. That means if you want to run your application, right, there should be some dependency libraries, guys. That's why, right, all the dependency libraries, right, is trying to download from the internet. That's how, right, Maven is going to work out. Don't worry, guys, this part, right, I will thoroughly cover during our Maven session. See this pom.xml, right, you will see a lot of options here. Whatever things you are seeing, right, all these are different plugins, guys. Here, see here, dependencies are there, right? So everything is trying to download from the internet. That's why, right, it will take a lot of time, guys. This is also, right, one-time setup. So what it will do, it will download all the Maven dependencies into a separate folder. That part, right, will thoroughly cover in during our Maven sessions. As of now, right, let's wait. It may take more than 5 to 10 minutes also, guys. Since this is new setup, from the next execution, right, it will take less time. This is how, right, we can create a typical CI/CD pipeline, guys. As of now, right, I just done the 2 steps only. First step will be I have cloned the code and I have integrated with the Maven. JUnit test case also, right? If it is available, it is going to execute. If it's not there, right, it's not going to execute any JUnit test cases. Okay. Then Sonar, right, in the further session, I will cover that part. I will try to install Sonar Cube and, I will try to integrate with the Sonar. Do you have any questions, guys, until now?
Yeah, Venkatesh, what we did so far is we just installed the Jenkins. After that, we configured the Git and Maven plugins first.
Yes.
After that, you cloned the repository.
Hmm.
You provided this information in the Jenkins to clone the
Job.
repository.
Yes,
Yeah, we
I
created a
created a
job.
new Jenkins job. There, right, I just configure the how to build and deploy the code. Currently, right, I'm just building the code, not deploying the code. Okay, that is, I am only covering the CI part, continuous integration part. Okay, as part of this, right, what I have done is, I just added the repository URL in the Git section, and then Maven targeted I have given. That's it. Yeah.
So Maven, what exactly it is doing here? It is
What
just
you
built.
do? Okay, that's kind of, let me, okay. I think you have some basic idea in Java. I mean, just maybe you know how to compile, how to run something like that.
Yeah.
Generally, right? We have something like hello something. Let's say like some Java project I have, which is like .java file. Okay. Then so for Java, right? We need to compile the code first of all. When you do the compilation of the code, right? It will create the hello world class file. Okay, whatever class file you have, right, that part you should convert to the jar file or var file. That is kind of executable. You should convert it. To do that, right, we should have some separate command. Say like c jar 1 minute, jar space cv of space something like hello world dot jar, and you should provide the class, whatever class file is there, right, you should provide it here. This is how, right, you should follow. Similarly, right, this is for a single Java project. When you have the multiple Java files, so obviously when you're building some real-time project, right, you need to write a lot of Java code. Say like, let me walk through in this code on itself. And this is very old. I'm not sure whether it will work, but let's give it right. We go here, right? See here, there are like different Java code. Lot of code is there. See here. For the JDBC connection, we have some different plugins. So I have multiple Java files. Okay, I can't compile like this. First of all, manually. Will you agree, right, with me, right? I have some Java files. I need to compile it, so I can't compile each file manually. Also, finally I need to do this part. Similarly, right, I need to create a executable file. Similarly, right, if you want to integrate with the database, let's say like you have some Java application, you want to integrate with the Oracle database or Postgres or MySQL database. In that time, right, what you need to do is you need to add some dependence jars also. That means, say like MySQL you want to integrate, you need to add the MySQL JDBC driver to your application. Say Postgres driver application. Currently, right, so all these things, right, whatever things I told, right, that will comes under the pom.xml. What they will do is to run this application, to build and compile this application, right, I should have a set of dependencies. So see, if you see here, right, Spring minus JDBC, that means there should be some database backend will be there. So if you see some more option, I have like a cache server. See here, this is also one of the option. So what and all things when you're creating package, right? What all things are required to execute your application, right? All these things will be comes under the dependencies. Okay, that time, right, what it will do is it will try to download all the plugins first of all, and it will compile the code. And during the creation of jar file or var file, right, it's going to include all the dependencies within your application. That means finally you have some output, say like var file, that can be deployed anywhere. So these things, right, we can't do it with a manual way. That's why, right, we have the Maven. As I mentioned earlier, right, Maven is a build automation tool. Whatever steps I have told, right, all these things, right, manually we're not going to do. If we can do it, but it will take a lot of time. So to avoid this part, right, we have the Maven. More details, right, I will cover in the Maven session. As of now, right, let's try to be comfortable with the Jenkins. Because if you want to do anything, right, in the basic DevOps tool stack, right, Jenkins is the major one. We'll spend more time on Jenkins.
Yeah, before Jenkins introduced to the market, so how the developers were building these projects? So they were doing manually on the server, right?
Manually, like CMake is there. There are some, Eclipse. So we have right before
Yeah, yeah.
there should be some editor tool should be there. If I am correct, from there only, right? They are doing this part.
So coming to these two, so it has speed up the process, right? So earlier they
Yes,
were
yes,
taking a lot of time, 3 to 4
yes,
months,
yes.
6 months to build a project.
No manual steps will be required. Correct. Yeah, this still take a lot of time. I think the project is very big project, I guess. That's why. So I think you understood the concept, guys. Let's wait for a couple of minutes, and if not completed, right, I will make sure this is completed, and tomorrow we can connect. That should be fine. So anybody have any questions, right? You can connect with me. Otherwise, right, if there's any issues during installation or configuration, right, we can do it, guys. What and all today we have covered. That's very very basics, guys. Nothing I have covered, to be frank. Okay, I just installed some plugins. I just integrated some tools. In the further sessions, right, we'll do more work on this part.
Venkatesh, normally what kind of questions they'll be asking from Jenkins in interviews?
Jenkins, right? Mostly for experienced people, they don't ask because this is very very basic. For 2 to 3 years, right, they may ask some of the questions. So two steps here. One is like what and all things I have covered just now, right? They will ask same thing, literally speaking. They will say like, how you are going to install the plugins, what kind of plugins you are going to use in your project. Okay, these kind of questions will come. If there is some proxy server, right, how you will do? In the advanced section, I have showed, right?
Yes, yes.
These kind of questions they will ask for the freshers. If there is something more, say like, if they want to trick rate, then there is something like a pipeline as a code. Groovy scripting will be there. That part, right, I will cover. May not be by this weekend, right? I can cover that part. Based upon time, right, in next week, by the next week, right, I will cover that part also. Pipeline as a code, that concept is there. Groovy scripting we need to do. That part, right, they will ask, okay, what are the different stages, how you have done. Also, right, in the process based question also they will ask, say like what is the CI/CD process in your project. You can say same thing, say like whatever all the developers will commit the code to the GitHub. So from the Jenkins, right, using Git client, we are going to clone the code to the Jenkins VM. So if it's Java based project, right, we are using the Maven. If Node.js, right, like npm. So programming language to programming language, right, the build part will be different, guys. Okay, that one thing you should understand. Maven, right, only for the Java projects. Maven can't be used for like Python projects or .NET projects, something like that. Okay. So what you can do is you can say like I have integrated Sonar Cube, same thing. What and all I have tell you here, right? Everything you can tell. Then in the further session, right, we are going to work with a Docker also. There are some additional steps, say like creating Docker image and publishing to the Docker Hub. Finally, deploying on the Kubernetes, something like that. This is how, right, I will tell you the process.
Okay. For Python, which build will be using?
PIP. Sorry, Python, right, there is nothing like building section will be there. A package manager will be there. PIP. There is something requirement.t. Python, I think I'm unable to recall exactly. In Node.js, right, we have something like that. Python also, if I remember, right, requirement.txt file will be there. For Node.js, right, like package.json, I guess.
Acha. Okay.
You should install because Python, right, we don't compile the Python. That's runtime directly, right? If you can run the script, right, it will execute.
Yes.
Only for Java, right, you need to compile and you need to create a package.
Yes. Okay.
So what about other language, .NET and all? So are we using any build tool or means?
.NET also there is some MS build, I think, if I remember correctly. .NET I am not going to cover. So like Node.js or these things, right, I will cover in our sessions.
Yeah, you please cover Node.js and the very most used tools.
Yeah, that part we will cover. Different programming languages, right? We'll try to compile them. That's not worry.
Thank you.
This taking more time. Okay. Let's take some sample project otherwise. I think it will fail. The build got failed. I think this is very old project, 7 years back. Okay, let's take some fresh, which is something like latest one. I think you asked me something, right? So how to create this one? I mean Jenkins file. This is the pipeline as a code. I think Kirtana asked the question. This is how, right, we can create a pipeline with the automation way. Whatever steps we are doing right here in the UI, right? Same thing we'll do in the script Jenkins file. This part I will cover maybe in the next week, right? First of all, right, you are completely new to the DevOps, right? Be comfortable with the basic stuff. Later, we'll go for advanced level. Let me save this one.
Venkatesh, for the Azure and AWS side, are they using these kind of means? Are they installing separately Jenkins and all, and they are deploying, or they are using their own proprietary tools in?
No. Jenkins. Here, two things here. It's all based upon project. First of all, okay. So out of 100, right, 80 to 90% people will use the Jenkins itself. There is no doubt in that part, because as I mentioned, this is the open source completely. Similarly, right, they have some different tools. Say like Azure is there, Azure DevOps is there. They write same concept is same. Say like whatever cloning code is there, compiling the code, all the steps are same. Only thing is UI will get differented. Here where you will do all the operations in the Jenkins UI. There in the Azure DevOps UI you will do it.
Oh. But we are not sure only all the companies are using DevOps only. So they may be using Jenkins inside the Azure IaaS machine and they are trying to do their activity.
Yes. They can
or
use
they
Jenkins.
may be.
They can use the Azure DevOps also. Yeah. Earlier, Azure DevOps is nothing to be frank. That's like a very outdated technology. To be frank, I'm telling, because I am there in the market, right? There is some outdated tool. What they have done is they change the name and they move to the Azure cloud. That's it. There is something Team Foundation server. There are some tools. Okay. Everything, let's say like Power BI, the Power BI, right? Before it is integrated with the Azure, right? Nobody is using that tool, Power BI. Say like Tableau, or there's some different tools are there. Okay, what these Microsoft people are doing, whatever outdated technology is there, right? They're changing little bit and they're integrating with the Azure completely. Say like okay, that part I will cover in Azure DevOps. So if you want to deploy something in the Azure, say like app service or virtual machine, right? From the Azure DevOps, that is easy because all the integration plugins will be there. So in Jenkins also, right, we can do that part. We have the open source community. Okay. Okay, guys. As of now, let me cover this part quickly because we are running out of time mostly. Because okay, guys. So here, this is the step. This is how, right? If there any successful build, right, it will come like this, guys. What I have done is I just in a simple way, right, go to the configuration section. I just given the GitHub URL here, some sample Java project, and then in the Maven section, right, I have given some of the goals here: clean and install. These two are the goals, guys. Okay. So then what it is doing is, first of all, two steps will I am performing in the CI/CD pipeline. It is downloading the code. That means it's trying to cloning the code here completely, and then it's trying to compiling and building the code. As I mentioned, right? See here, it will downloading all the dependencies, then it will try to compile the code. See here, it's trying to compiling the code. Finally, right, it will create a WAR file. If you want to see, right, what happening exactly, right, you can go to inside the, there is something like workspace should be there. See here, guys. See, this is a simple project, so I have only one class file. This is the WAR file. From the class file, right, I have created something like this. I have only single Java file. That's why, right, I have created single class file. That's it. hello.java become hello.class file. I have compiled the code. Finally, right, during our building section, right, it will create a var file. That's the functionality guys of the Maven. Don't worry, that part right will cover in detail during our Maven. As of now, right, let's just be comfortable with the Jenkins itself. Okay, guys. So try to do that part. Let me share you the repository path for you. Are you guys getting chart window, guys? Now at least.
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, okay. I will ask the consulting team. They can share this to you. Okay, guys. You just install the Jenkins and do this part. Install the plugins. Different options are there. Explore more and more. If you have any questions, right, feel free to consult me tomorrow. Tomorrow, right, what we are going to do is we'll try to integrate with the SNTP server. That means Gmail SNTP server. So we'll see if there any failure, right, how it's going to send trigger email. Okay, that part we'll see. Also, right, we'll try to integrate the Sonar Cube also. We'll try to install Sonar Cube, and then you know how we can integrate the Sonar Cube. This part, right, we'll try to cover tomorrow mainly.